Hello, dear students. Welcome back. Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to start a new chapter. The name of this chapter is Disposal of Waste. We will learn here types of waste and how do we dispose them, right? And so these two things we will discuss here, class. So here the three parts are there of this chapter. The first part is solid waste disposal, second is liquid waste disposal, and third is gaseous waste disposal, right? So these 3 points we will discuss here. And some few new terms are there. Firstly, there's a need to read them. So first is methane. Methane is a one gas. The formula of methane is CH4, and it is colorless, odorless, inflammable gas, right? So next is bulldozer. It is everyone know the bulldozer, right? So this is powerful and heavy tractor to level ground, right? And third is trench. Trench is the name. The meaning of trench is narrow depression. Narrow depression. It is a trench. And the 4 point, that is chimney. Everyone know the chimney. It is in the industries where the smoke comes out. This is a vertical channel to release smoke. Pile, heap of things. And sorting, say if you are arranging something, right, you are doing arrangement, so it is sorting. And the seventh is recycle, to reuse. Debris, scattered solid things. Scattered solid thing means a solid thing which is scattered, okay? So it is debris. And sludge means thick mud, right? These 9 points are there. And after this class, the next is amount. Now the para has started. Amount of waste is increasing day by day in most part of the world. The problem of disposal of waste is also increasing every day. In the developing countries, the waste disposal facilities are less, but much of the waste is diverted for recycling, right? But much of the waste is diverted for recycling. In the developed countries, the waste disposal facilities are sophisticated. If waste is not properly disposed, it may affect our environment. Obviously, it is a very obvious thing. It may affect our environment. It can pollute air, water, and land, and lead to many health hazards. After this class, there are some few. Now the topic is the next topic, which is that is solid waste disposal. Solid waste include solid and semi-solid material resulting from human and animal activities. Some few various forms of solid waste are garbage of food. The first point is garbage of food. Second is construction debris. Third is tree. Fourth is dead animals. Number fifth is industrial waste like chemical, which is coming out in the environment. Okay, and due to that, through the smoke, the air pollution is also increasing. And sixth point is mining waste in the form of heaps. And seventh is agriculture waste as manure and crop residue. Eight is ashes. Nine, solid material retained on sewage treatment. And the last is rubbish like paper, wood, glass, ceramic, cloth, and etc., right? So after this class, some few various method of solid waste disposal are. The one is landfill, okay? So now class, this is a very important point. These are the methods of solid waste disposal. Means we will learn here what are the methods, how can we dispose our solid waste, okay? So first is landfills. It is the most common method of disposing waste on land. It is also the cheapest means because transport cost is the only major expenditure. In a modern landfill, the solid waste is spread in thin layer. Each layer is solidified by bulldozer, means it is pushed down before the next layer is deposited. After every 3 meter of a layer of clean earth is added, and it is also solidified by bulldozer. Site of landfills are so selected that flood water does not reach there. Underground water level should also be low. Normally, gases are generated in landfills, but they are released by venting method, and large amount of methane can be disastrous. Right? Means large amount of methane, that is CH4, can be disastrous. There's some maybe a disaster by the filling of CH4, that is methane. The next is it is a one method that is called seni incinerator. Incinerator. In the incinerator, the waste is burned so that it reduces in weight and volume. Right? Actually, in this method, we do burn our disposal. Okay. So around 90% waste is reduced by this method. This method is not suitable where waste is mainly organic and of dust. As in case of India and many other developing countries, in many cases, new compounds are formed by burning. While burning the waste, traditional incinerator pollute the air. Traditional means the old incinerator pollute the air by smoke and ash. But the modern incinerator control this pollution with the help of filter bag, uh, precipitator. Right? It is actually there is a one thing which we install in our chimney, that is called precipitator, and it is reduce the poisonous of smoke when it comes out into the air. And wet scrubber. Some incinerator generate energy from the burning gas by making steam. Okay, class. Now after this, now the third point coming, that is composting. It is a thing. Sometime also we have heard this thing, and we have read in our in science as well. Composting. Sometime you may be found in biology. Composting. Composting is a process of decomposing solid waste to make fertilizer. The waste has to sorted so that only those things are selected that can be decomposed, like paper, wood, leaf, etc. Things like plastic, glass cannot be decomposed or composted. So the waste is layered in such a way that air can enter easily. A little water is added to the pile of every decomposition. After a few days, the pile or heap is covered so that the heat and steam can decompose the matter faster. After about 3 weeks, it can be used as a manure. And the fourth point, that is recycling. It is a very old method in which the waste things are made reusable. All the metal product can be melted to make new product. This was done even in the prehistoric time. In this method also the goods are separated. It is done with the help of magnetic devices that can separate the metallic things. Okay. Further sorting is done by adding water to the waste, and the plastic things can be melted to make new plastic things. Glass is 100% recyclable. Paper is also recycled, right? Paper is also recyclable. The fifth point is coming, that is nuclear waste. The waste of nuclear energy are classified as high level waste. It is classified as high level waste, and intermediate level waste, and the low level waste. These levels are classified on basis of amount of radioactivity. Means the nuclear waste, which is classified into a three part. One is high level waste, intermediate level waste, and the low level waste. So these levels are classified, categorized on the basis of amount of radioactivity. Okay, so the high level waste is the most radioactive. It remains radioactive for thousands of years and is capable of destroying all life of the area. Many places are being discussed internationally to decompose to dispose the nuclear waste. Many countries are dumping it in trenches that are concrete lined so that it cannot mix with the underground water or the soil of area. The next is liquid waste. Liquid waste disposal. Wastewater can bring harm to the human environment. Wastewater can bring harm to the human environment. Therefore, it is important to treat the liquid waste in such a way that it cannot damage the environment. The process involving in the liquid waste are: the first is debris removal. When wastewater start getting treatment in the chamber, first of all, the solid debris, okay, are removed so that they do not damage the machinery. And some few points are there regarding the chamber and how do we treat means it is a discussion of treatment of wastewater. The first is grid chamber. There are some few points are there, class. Listen very carefully. First is grid chamber. Here the solid particles of particles like sand, gravels, cinders, etc. are allowed to settle down. Later, they are removed as solid waste to be taken to landfill. The second point is sedimentation. After removing the grit, the first part is grit chamber. This next is after removing the grit at the first stage of wastewater passes into the next chamber. After the grit chamber, the next chamber that is called sedimentation tank. Actually, it is a treatment of wastewater, right? Class very very. The first step is grit chamber. Second step is sedimentation. Here in the sedimentation tank, the fine organic material settle down, which later is removed. Some chemical like aluminum sulfate and ferric chloride are added to the water for easy sedimentation. These two chemicals also used, right? Learn it: aluminum sulfate and ferric chloride. The third point: after the sedimentation tank, the water is to be done. The next step is flotation. In this stage, air is forced into the water. And the bubbles thus formed bring up the suspended particle and are easily removed. Okay. After flotation, the next point, the fourth point, that is digestion. In this stage, many chemical reactions take place, making the water as sludge. The sludge is heated, and after about 30 days, the sludge is decomposed, and then it reduces to 50%. The last is drying. In this stage, the sludge is split into thin layers on sand. Here it is dried for some days. After drying it, it is used as a fertilizer. Okay, so the next process is the next method of liquid waste disposal is septic tank. It is a tank used to treat the domestic sewage only. It is a concrete and metal tank with a submerged outlet. In this tank, the solid settle. And floatable material rise. Liquid stream flow through the submerged outlet and percolate down to the soil. the floating matter and settled solid means what the solid has settled down, that is called settled solid. The floating matter means which material which is floating on liquid, on a top surface of liquid, and what the material has settled now, that is called settled solid, right? So the floating matter and the settled solid can remain there for about a year or so. Class, the next and the last disposal type, that is gaseous waste disposal. Gaseous waste is emitted mainly in the form of smoke, right? Everyone know it. So from the vehicle, from the factories, so the chimney smoke has come out, is coming out. This smoke is generated from the vehicular traffic and the chimney of factories. They are the two ways, right? It is not easy to dispose of a gaseous waste like solid and liquid, where liquid waste, the amount gaseous waste is generated, it immediately mixes with the air. Excessive release of CO2, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and many other gases has resulted in acid rain and the greenhouse effect. However, we can try to minimize the generation of gaseous waste. Several ways are there to minimize the generation and proper disposal. The first is complete burning of fuel. Vehicular exhaust can be controlled if fuel are burned as completely as possible. The engine should be so designed that they completely burn the fuel. Okay. The next is tall smoke stack. Smoke stack should be tall so that the smoke release in boosted high into the atmosphere. It is not a method to control the air pollution, but going higher will dilute the adverse effect. Okay, means our environment means where what the environment where we are surviving, where we are living, that environment can be same somehow, right? The last is electrostatic precipitator. It is an important point, class, which we use in a chimney. It is a device to remove the impurity from air. It can be mixed. Children, listen. It can very carefully. It can be fixed. Sorry, it can be fixed at the mouth of chimney or a smokestack of factory or a thermal plant. It can collect all fine impurities from the smoke. It is very costly device but very effective, the normal filter and precipitator. Children, this is the topic of disposal of waste, what we have discussed here. And after this, now I am sending the exercise video in copy. All right, and okay children, goodbye.